Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my dancing fitness instructor queen, Philly. How you doing, Queen Philly?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing super well. I mean, I love talking about the Amazing Race. It's just easy, breezy fun, I find.
So easy, yes. Everybody,
It is
everybody
easy.
enjoys the race. It's fun.
Now, are you with me when it's kind of like it feels a little Mickey Mouse, the tasks?
Yes, I mean, yes, very much so. I mean, I know we'll go over the test, but I can't really pinpoint too difficult of one.
Right.
All this
Um,
like
Now, I love the Amazing Race. I'll always support the Amazing Race, but we're also gonna have a little bit of a critical eye here as people that enjoy games. You run your own gaming company. I produced different gaming weekends, so we enjoy all elements of the race, but sometimes I'd like it to be a little bit harder. Now, I know people struggle and are challenged by some of these tasks, and people still get eliminated from not being great at them, but I still think the level of tasks so far this season have been like a 5 out of 10.
yeah. It's a little surprising because Amazing Race Canada has always been sort of in my head. It's always been like the tougher race, like because they always have like some extreme challenges. Maybe they're coming. I know towards the end. I don't know, but it's been it's been quite a letdown. And I'm a little concerned about the race here in Canada because I know I said to you earlier, but I haven't really heard of a lot of people watching it this season. So I'm a little concerned that the race could be in some trouble here.
Well, I see. Streaming wise, we've had not too bad. About 500 people watched last week's stream. So that's a decent amount of people considering
That's
it's
good.
just in Canada for right now. Like obviously
Yeah.
the algorithm hasn't picked up a lot of people, I guess, but that's not bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad. That means there's some people.
Okay,
And I know
that's good.
Court from Court and Alley did comment on our video. So we know that at least he's watching. So that's good to hear. So
Well,
hi,
let's
Court.
get
Hi,
Court on here.
Allie. Court, come on and play one of Phil's games.
Bring
Let's
Allie.
see if you guys can do well. Actually, Court, I once you messaged, I decided to do a little cyber stalk, and I looked you up on Facebook because my best friend does live in Whistler, so I was seeing if you guys were friends on Facebook. But you weren't friends that I saw, but we do have one mutual friend, and her name is Gina Jackson, and she just launched a Indigenous program that's kind of like Dragon's Den. So I don't know if you know her through that or through
Ooh.
the Indigenous community or whatnot. But Gina, I knew from over 20 years ago. We used to work together here in Toronto. So I thought that was an interesting connection. So maybe you both want to come on because I do want to interview Gina just to talk about, I think it's called the Bear's Lair is what this new, Dragon's Den, Shark's Tank type program that is kind of towards supporting Indigenous business owners and creators. So who knew? Who knew? So Court, you want to come on and chat with us? Maybe you and Gina together, depending on how you know each other. The door is always open. You're always welcome. And anybody else that decides to watch this from the race or anybody else in the community, we're open. Doors open. Right. So we're at the Waterton Lakes National Park, and even though you can't see my arm, I am presenting the national park right now. It is beautiful out there, I have to admit.
Yeah, the scenery and the videos have been great. I mean, it makes you want to go there just to check it out at least once in your life. I mean, majestic.
But it also makes me wish that they were climbing that mountain.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, I guess I would like the tasks to be challenging, but things that you could only really do in that area. So, some of the tasks that we do on this area, yes, it's available in where they did it, but I feel like some of them could be done anywhere in the world and it wouldn't really matter that it was in Alberta, you know?
Yeah, that's sometimes the problem with the Canadian one is, which is funny because we have so much culture in Canada, all over the place. But it does sometimes it feels like that gets missed from the regular race, where like they go somewhere and it's like really focused on where they are, and yeah, Alberta, I know Alberta for mountains, cowboys, um, the West Edmonton Mall. Those kinds of things. So yeah,
I would love a
like
West
that.
Edmonton Mall task, like make them have to go get like stamps because they went and they saw the seals, and then they went on the roller coaster, and they had to go on the roller coaster 10 times or something, and then they have to go and actually not necessarily supporting gun usage, but when I was at the West Edmonton Mall, I actually had to I went to a shooting range. I didn't have to, with my crew. So this was when I was a flight attendant, and our captain loves, really, goes to the range and stuff like that all the time. He has a gun collection and stuff like that. So he was like, you guys really should try it. Like, it's, something that you should just experience. And so he convinced us all to go to the shooting range that they have that's attached to the West Edmonton Mall. And not that I would ever be a person that would do that on a regular basis, but it really was exhilarating experiencing firing firearms. It was.
And how was your accuracy?
I probably have a picture of it somewhere. If I can find it while we're talking, I'll bring it up. It was okay, but guns are very powerful, and it was very overwhelming at times just to have something so powerful in my hands. I don't know, it was overwhelming. But anyways, it's something that you could do at the West Edmonton Mall. There's so many things there that would be decent for tasks, right?
But yeah, where they are right now, I agree. They should be up in those mountains. We should be seeing them going on those gondolas up to the top and doing stuff.
I want them to be swimming across that water. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to be splunking. I don't know what actually that is, but just stuff that I've never done before that you could only do in that climate or area. Yeah. So they learn that we're still racing. So they're continuing along. It's not an actual pit stop. It's just a little bit of a pause. And they're going to be driving to the Waterton village. We do learn that I think it was Beverly and Veronica.
No.
I was going to say Victoria. I'm like, am I getting my V names wrong? They really love small towns. How are you with small towns?
I love small towns.
I guess you live in a small town.
Well, St. Catharines isn't that small. But I have lived in small towns. When I was young, I grew up in a very small town called Acton, with the old Hyde House.
It's worth the drive to Acton. Why is it worth the drive? What was that commercial for?
The old Hyde House. It was a leather factory, leather coat factory, and that was, everybody knew that commercial. They did well with that, but Acton's bigger now than what it was. It was very small back in the 80s.
I think this is my accuracy. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna put it up in my background. All right. Because you won't be able to see. It's worth the drive to Acton is the only thing I know about Acton. So I'm happy that you grew up there. How many people in the population?
I have no idea. But I lived on one of the main streets, and there wasn't many main streets.
How many people in your high school and stuff like that?
I actually was in St. Catharines for high school, but elementary school probably had about 20 in my class.
And that's in only one grade?
Yeah, for one grade, yeah.
So there's 20 per grade. So there's 100 people in the whole school.
Maybe 100 in the elementary school, maybe about 150 for the middle school, and then the high school is probably maybe about 400, 500.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it's bigger. Now it's much bigger. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my God! Now I want to show you all these videos now. Let me send you that picture. It's actually pretty. It was pretty exhilarating. see if I can find a good one where I'm like actually shooting. Okay, we'll show you that at the end. So we get times today, which I was really excited about. They don't always show us the
Yeah.
times that people like leave the pit stops. So I was really happy that we got a chance to look at them. So we knew that Franca and Nella, they were first to the mat, and so they left at 1:23 p.m. Next was Jessie and Marika, and that was 1:37. So I was surprised that they were almost 15 minutes apart there. They seemed a little bit closer than that. And third place was Beverly and Veronica, and they were at 2:02. So they were like a good 45 minutes away from Franca and Nella. So it seemed like people were closer together, but they're actually more spread out than I was giving them credit for.
Yeah, I was surprised at the top that they were actually as far apart, but then I was even more surprised when we got towards the last couple teams to leave that they were actually as close. I thought they were way further behind, but they actually they were like an hour and a maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours.
The last three teams. So we're Dennis and Darrell, Cassie and Jameek, and Carl and Court and Allie. And so they were at 3:23 to 3:21. So they were about 2 hours from Franca and Nella.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that they could be further. Yeah.
We have Sophie visiting us. Hello, Sophie. Thank you for joining. So that I did love, though, just to be able to see how wide the apart everyone. So I can understand when people move up in the pack that like how well that they're doing. So it was good to see that, so I can really understand like the dynamics of like how people are moving throughout the race. So the task that they're going to be doing is big weenie. So they're going to have to pedal to the Wieners of Waterton, and they are going to have to get 4 orders of wieners, and then they deliver them to different locations, and they're going to be on a side-by-side bike. So first off, have you ever been on a side-by-side bike?
I have not. No.
Me neither. I've never done that. Have you had a wiener?
I had a wiener. Have you had a wiener?
I mean, I'm vegan, but I've had in the past. In the past, yes. And have you ever had a Waterton wiener? Probably not.
No. Never.
Now, so this is what I'm saying. So with this wiener task, like, okay, cute. You found like a Waterton wieners. What was specific about them? Did they have a certain type of wieners? Like, for instance, in Vancouver, they have these Japa dogs, right? And Japa dogs, like you can have all these Japanese toppings on like a wiener. And it's very, very Vancouver, these Japa dogs, because of these toppings that you're able to put on them. And a lot of famous people have gone there, and there's only like one Japa dog spot. Like, anyways, so I can understand going to Vancouver and having to do something with Japa dog. But what, like the Waterton wiener dog, like what was special about that dog? Was it all beef? Was it like I saw them grilling them? It looks like it curved a little bit. Like what was special about these wieners?
I didn't know what was special. They seem to have like lots of toppings, like lots of choices. So I don't know if it was kind of like a Subway sort of thing with like all the different stuff, but I don't know. Like they never really said why it was. Maybe they were bigger, or I don't know. Waterton wieners are
bigger wiener in Waterton. Big wieners in Waterton. Some alliteration there.
That's
for
right.
you. So what I thought was very interesting is with the looming express pass that everybody seemed to be willing to help Brendan and Connor. What do you feel about that? I know that you're sometimes hesitant about the alliance things and people helping each other out. So how do you feel about definitely Jessie and Marika gave a lot of help to Connor and Brendan. And then later on, Nella and Franca.
Yeah. Well, they do have those express passes. And I mean, they have 2 of them. Extra fun. So
isn't it 3?
I don't know.
I thought they had 3 extra. I could be wrong, whatever.
I think they got 3 express passes.
One for themselves
and 2
okay.
2 for I thought that was it. Yeah, so I do understand why people are being nice. I was a little shocked by one of the teams and how they aggressively did it. And I was during the commercial, I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then they came back and it didn't seem like it was actually as big of an aggressive problem as I thought it might be.
Mm-hmm.
But that will be interesting. I hope that shows that they'll get one because they gave them their map, which was pretty
Or
good. It did help
or
them.
maybe
So
they won't, and that will cause a lot of
a lot of tension, right?
problems. Yeah, be
But
like,
it does
give
seem
more
like there was a
map.
number of them. So if they don't, we've seen them help the Tyshawn
Tishon and
and
Cedric.
yep, help them as well in previous legs. So they've got a bunch of people that they might burn people if they don't get that express pass. So
Well,
and
listen,
they are a
if
tough
I
team.
was Brendan and Connor, I would be giving it to the people that were coming in last. That's just what I would be doing. I think I wouldn't be giving the express pass to people that are up close to me already. Right?
Oh
You
yeah,
want to give it to
no,
people
yeah,
that are consistently doing not that great, I would say.
bad. You would want to, unless you feel like it's something beneficial to you that you can get out of that other team.
Wait, what's this? I get 1 heart, Phil gets 2 heart, and talking gets 3 hearts. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Ron? What does he mean? Can you translate this?
I have no idea. That's code there.
I want more than 1 heart. Thank you very much. So, yeah, Fernella definitely wanted to give their map to Brendan and Connor, and they're like, okay, we'll give you our maps. It has all the locations put out, but you have to give us your express pass. And I was like, that's not really the way that I would be asking for it.
No.
And they kind of walked off and they're like, I know. And they're like, and then they kind of had a change of heart and they circled around and they're like, oh, okay. And then, yeah, I was also thought it was weird how that whole interaction was.
Yeah. What do you think about this idea of holding the express pass until the last minute to give it away to people? Do you
if I were them, I would be giving them early, because if you're doing well early, I would definitely give it out to the weakest teams as soon as I knew who they kind of were. You can tell who's not going to be doing that well.
Yeah.
So sorry, Cedric and Deshaun, you would be getting an express pass. Jarrell and what's his name? You would be getting an express pass.
Dennis. Yeah.
Dennis. Yeah. And then maybe Court and Allie, just because they came in last. But they were strong their first leg. So maybe I'd give it to Cassie and Jimmy because they were strong but still low. So
I think those are the types of teams that would panic and then use it early and then it's gone. It's out of the way and it's not going to affect you.
Yeah, I would, because if people are going to have those express passes for longer, that means that they could use the express pass and you could go home because they used it at a certain time. So I would try to burn those as soon as possible. I'd give them out early, and people that would be scared would use it probably early. I would have played it completely differently, personally. So they have to go to North Pincher Street to get on one of 2 buses. The buses are going to be 15 minutes apart, and they're going to then drive to Fernie, BC. Have you been to Fernie? Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. No.
Me
Sorry,
neither.
Fernie.
So when they're there, they're either going to learn to.
Sorry, Fernie.
Yeah, Fernie. No Fernie for me. Fernie for us. Learn to fly or ready to roll. What would we do? I think learn to fly, personally.
Yeah. I would have done learn to fly, and I would have been happy about that. Especially the way that it went out. I thought at first when they started going over it, I was like, Jesus, that's insane. But then they can leave stuff there, and it was quite easy after. It's just the running back and forth. You have to be willing.
Well, what I think would have been the way to do it, now that I'm watching it, I don't know if we would have decided that in the moment.
Yeah.
But I thought it was smart when Cassie and Jameek, they ended up just listening to the first 5 and then running right away. I think that maybe I would listen to the first 5 and then you listen to the second 5. I'd run, you'd run,
Yep.
and then we'd go back up, and I'd listen to the third 5, you'd listen to the fourth 5, and then we'd run down and run back up. I don't know if we were allowed to separate like that. If we could, that's definitely how I'd want to do it. Because I wouldn't want to hear your ones because it might just make me forget my ones. But that's how I would think to do it. Just a stagger of those and make 2 trips.
Yeah, at least stand aside from it, so then you like and just focus on your 5, right? And then run together. Yeah, completely. I agree. That would have been the smart thing to do. I love that those teams worked together.
You did.
And figured that out. I actually did. I thought that was a smart way of doing it as well. I was worried about that last team until what they did was also really clever. I mean, to get back into it.
So Ready to Roll seemed to really hang a lot of people up. We see handlebars on backwards, and I don't know, some other parts of the frame, I have no idea what terminologies for bikes are, in the front was like backwards. And so it seemed like people were having a hard time paying attention to detail. And it seemed like the wrong task to do, because everybody that was at the front of the pack that was doing this task ended up falling to the bottom of the taps, except for the boys. So Brendan and Connor were able to do this quite quickly, and they were able to stay at the front of the pack. They left first, I believe, even faster than the fishing lures.
Yes, they did. And I would have been panicked at that point, because I would have been like, oh, great. Now, and the next step is we're going to have to get on these bikes and we're going to have to go. And you know me, that's not my world.
Oh my God, you hate bikes. I forgot.
So
what would have happened? Would you have been scared on like the side-by-side bike?
No, that's because that's not the same. Those things aren't the same as. But definitely.
Sorry, I just needed to see what Ron had to say here. So Ron says, I'd use my express pass to get my subway foot long and head out in my Chevrolet. Of course you would. And then you would go to where did they get their get your $2,000 Marshall's gift card and go on a shopping spree. Absolutely. With all that free time you have using your express pass. Absolutely. Sorry, go on. I cut you off there.
No, I think that the fly fishing was the right thing to do. It would have been a fun task, I think.
I would never have chosen I never wanted to have chosen the other one. No. I feel like with the learning to fly, it's something that you can easily see when you're doing something wrong. And I think that that's something important to think about when choosing what task to do. Like with the bike, there's like all these nuts and bolts and frames and blah, 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 all these things that have to go in a specific place, and you won't necessarily know when you're wrong. And so at least with the fishing lure, you would know when you're wrong. Yeah. So.
And the chain and putting it on exactly, and the brakes.
Terrible.
Awful.
Would not have chosen that one. Okay, so who did the last task last week? Because the last roadblock last week.
We said me last week, and this week when it says who wants to get physical, that's you. That's you. And I would have been happy because I think you would have rocked this.
Yeah, it would have been fine. It's pretty easy. I mean, like my memory is not as great as it was when I was dancing every day of my life, but I think it was simple enough just to be like, okay, side stab and like kick and arm. Like I probably remember the whole thing just by watching it once. So yes, I would think that this let's get physical task roadblock here would have been up my alley, and I think that we would have been able to do well and maybe move ahead of the pack. Well, we would be at the head of the pack, so we might get a first place here.
I know, and I think you would have rocked one of these outfits.
Love the outfit.
I think people would have been talking. They would have been like, "Ooh, who is this goddess?"
Let's go! Yes, it would be super fun. Yes. Even right now, like I haven't taught that many classes yet, but like I am a certified Pilates instructor, so it would be up my alley to do a class like this. I would enjoy it for sure, especially the outfit.
Oh yeah.
That would be like my favorite part about it, for sure.
The teams, did you like how they did it?
How they did it? They're terrible,
Yeah,
those people.
I was gonna say they weren't that great.
Nobody was good, and I love Tashawn from Big Brother Canada 9, but he's not a good dancer in this kind of capacity. Like maybe he's good at this, like with like a groove or whatever, like
Club dance,
just like on his own, club dancer, whatever. Maybe he's good, but him in those shorts and like it just did not look great. He was so awkward, and he was even saying, his dad was saying like, "Oh, we knew that dance would be trouble for us." I'm like, why? You guys look like you should have some rhythm. Like, why are you so bad at dancing? Yeah. It makes me uncomfortable to see how bad they are at dancing. I feel like they should have a little bit more like rhythm or like not be so stiff.
I felt he sold it. If there was a judge there that was being really picky, which they were a little picky, but like if there was a real picky judge, he wouldn't have gone away with his dance because he was like off what they were doing. Like, but he sold it. He had the energy that like worked. I think he understood that he had to sell it. So
yeah, you have to sell it, but you didn't sell it with me, babe.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So we had Jameek and Cassie, they were at the Ready to Roll, assembling the bike, and pretty much everybody's leaving. Like the boys, I think, had already left, and they decided to switch detours. And when they get to the Learning to Fly detour, nobody was there yet. So they had missed getting there in time to collaborate with all the other teams. And so they're now doing this on their own. So what do you think about their 11th hour decision to change detours?
Honestly, I felt like they weren't going to get the bike. Like, I just don't feel like they were in the right headspace for the bike. That I think it probably was the right decision. For them, they should have made it earlier. They should have left faster. So, because they definitely figured out the fly fishing once they got there, and they didn't seem to be really that far behind. They saw other teams when they got to the dancing thing. So if they had switched detours faster, it might have been different. So
they should have just never have gone to that detour.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets a little bit intense at the end because the people that get to the pit stop. So after they complete the let's get physical, lead a fitness class in front of some people in the town. The first people to leave was Catherine and Craig. We would expect them to do well. Craig was leading this. He's a dancer. He picked it up pretty quickly.
He was showing them how to do
it. He was good. He did it well. I think he did it once before. They're like, no, and he was more energy. And so then he did it a second time. So they are on their way to the pit stop. It would be their first time in the front. And we see Brandon and Connor are kind of able to catch up a little bit. These two boys, like these young men, we can call them, they're good. Like at random stuff.
Yeah, I think they're in the. I'm going to say they're going to make top 5 at least.
Absolutely. I mean, I could see them being in top 3 and running the whole race.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because they seem to, even when they don't do that well, they're able to do a little bit better. And for the fact that they have that express pass, people keep on helping them, and that is helpful because they can maintain their lead and stay in the race. So what happens if they had got eliminated and they hadn't given out their express passes yet?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is, that because I don't believe that that's ever happened. So I wonder what that maybe they'd reintroduce them.
It's like a legacy express pass. It's like, you get it now that we're out of the game.
First, the next leg gets them or something. I don't know. Or maybe they're out.
Maybe they're out and they just take the express pass with them. So getting to the mat is going to be Catherine and Craig, and they sparkle jump to the finish line or the pit stop. What did you think about their sparkle jumps? Were you annoyed?
No, actually. So I said the first episode, I felt like they were going to be the team that annoyed me, and I actually was quite happy for them to get there. I felt a little bad that. The most. Which team annoys me right now? Honestly, probably Dennis and Darryl. Yeah,
No
I just
urgency. It's annoying. Yeah.
yeah, I just like they're not gonna.
Want to
I
be
don't see them
here.
winning, and so just if they don't want to be there, get rid of them. I actually would have preferred them. I'm sorry, I would have preferred them going this like because I felt like at least the other team wanted to be there. Like you could feel it, and I do feel like they would have caused more drama.
Yeah, and like, well, and they also like they want to excel, and so they might be good to go against some of these other teams that are stronger than Jarrell and Dennis, because I just don't think that Jarrell and Dennis are going to be able to knock anybody out of the race. Like I think that they're out next or the time after, you know? Like I don't feel like they're competitive enough to like get out Brandon and Connor. Like no way. No. So second in
I was going to say, for the first place team, I did feel bad that they only got $2,000.
Yeah, I guess
so that's not $2,500. Like
Chintzy,
3,
chintzy.
we're getting a little less. But they did get a good trip.
Yes, they got a trip to Bangkok. Have you been to Bangkok?
Yes.
You have?
Well, I haven't been there, but I would.
Oh, I think you said you have been to. Okay.
No.
I've never been to Thailand, personally.
No.
It seems far. I would go, though. I would definitely really enjoy going there. And a $2,000 Marshall's gift card. It's like, and so their pit stop is the Fernie Golf and Country Club. Fernie. Is that it?
The fourth hole.
What is it? Oh, yeah, I didn't even hear like people were like, "Oh, we need the fourth hole," and they were just like running, and they were making it seem as though Brendan and Connor were close, but our dancing friends did make it in the first spot. Then it was Brendan and Connor. Then was Veronica and what's her partner's name? Why can't I remember these people's names? Beverly.
Jessie.
Jessie and Marika.
Beverly. Yeah.
Then it was Court and Allie. So Court and Allie they almost were eliminated and they were saved, and they managed to get back to the middle of the pack, which is great. Tashawn and Cedric managed to stay in because I don't know how, because his dancing was terrible. Frenella, who had been in the lead at the beginning of this leg, definitely fallen. It was that bike task that really was rough for them. And then Nella, when she was doing the let's get physical task, was just like screaming. I was like, that's not gonna help you. Like, concentrate, please.
I did like her lay down pose at the end when she like laid down on the ground and posed. I was like, that's good. That's gonna win it.
It's cute. And then the suspense. Is Cassie and Jimmy going to be able to make up for it? Because Dennis and Jarrell, they did get their let's get physical task. And then it's seemingly right after Jameek and Cassie, or Jameek did, and they were able to leave. And so it looked, I was rooting for Jameek and Cassie to get to the pit stop before and stay in the race, but they didn't. They ended up showing up to the mat last. So 8th place was Dennis and Jarrell, and it was not another non-elimination leg. So Jameek and Cassie, done. And they were shocked. They were shocked that it was done, because they felt as though they were a strong team, and like they put aside having children for a couple years because they wanted to run the race. And so it's kind of disappointing that they're gone, because it was just a silly mistake, you know. And there was not enough of like
weird that they put that in. I was like, at first, like I was like, oh, it's kind of weird that they're putting that in. So after we saw the preview, now we know sort of why they pushed.
Well, I don't fully know. Like, so what I saw in the preview, it looks like all the teams that are already out coming back, or I might have blinked, but I only saw Julie and her partner coming back in some capacity. So what do you think is happening?
I think that the 2 teams that have been eliminated, are one of them is going to get back in. And I think it's probably some sort of face-off challenge between the 2 of them. And yeah, I mean, I think I'd love to see Julie get back in. As much as I was cheering for this team not to be eliminated, having Julie Black on the show, I think, is really interesting. So,
It's totes fun. Well, I mean, see, that's what I'm saying about these episodes. Like, there's not that much that happened. Like, they rode a bike to find wieners. They took a bus. They put together a bike, or they did some lures, like put some lures in order.
To a story.
Yeah, correct. And then they learned a little exercise routine, and then went to a pit stop. It's pretty basic, it seems. I don't know if I'm just like having false memory or what, but it just seems so like nothing burger of an episode. Yeah. And like, look, we're able to get through it in 35 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, maybe was there something that I missed?
No, that's it.
Okay. I'm like, maybe there's like an important part that I missed. No. Well, what we could do, I miss buses all the time. I'm always late. So Phil, do you have a game for me?
Yes. Okay. I did put together a little game for you, and I was hoping you could put on some background music for us.
Okay, I could do that. How about this?
All right. So in theme with one of the challenges, we're going to test your memory on some 80s workouts.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a description of something that is workout related from the 80s, and you just have to tell me the name of it. Okay?
Okay.
See if you remember. Okay? All right. Here's your first one. So throw on some great music and a pair of leg warmers. It's about to get in here. With dance as the core element and building strength thrown in, it was the 80s version of today's Zumba.
Nothing. Richard Simmons sweat it to the oldies? Like, I don't know.
Jazzercise.
Oh, okay. You did do the jazz hands. Okay. I'm kind of understanding. Okay.
All right. Okay. Just saying the title of this product might invoke a few chuckles from some people. This video promised a tighter, more shapely buttocks. Though we applaud the idea of making our back ends more toned, judging from the lack of tight bums walking around, it seems the promises were better than the results.
Are you giving me a clue? Is that a clue?
Okay, well, so it's something to do with your bum.
Buns of Steel.
Yeah.
I had Buns of Steel. I had like the VHS.
All right.
Well, I should get those back.
Yes,
they're good.
They were. We still have plenty of these classes in gyms today, but this type of class itself isn't unusual. But when it was in the 80s, it was on a whole nother level. From working up a sweat with Richard Simmons, Jane Fonda, or stopping the insanity, the outfits, the music, the moves was this classic 80s experience.
Step aerobics?
Aerobics!
Oh, it's aerobics? Okay.
Very good. All right. Cross-country skiing is well acknowledged as an excellent workout. Enter this product, the benefits of cross-country skiing from the convenience of your own home.
The Nordic, what's it called? Is it,
Name for what it's on.
Nordic elliptical? Nordic step?
Ooh,
Nordic,
you're so close.
Nordic.
Starts with T.
Nordic. Yeah?
Nordic track. Yep. Good job. All right. Do you need cardio, but you feel you can also use a little lift? That's where this program comes in. This routine focuses on using an elevated platform that you get on and off, typically in a choreographed style.
So step aerobics, that one.
Yeah!
I love step aerobics.
Okay, another product. Every woman in the 80s probably believed this device would give them these, just like Suzanne Summers. You place the loop device between your upper legs and squeeze it away.
I know what it's called. Thigh Master.
You're doing great tonight. All right, last one. Okay, this 80s chuckle-worthy workout started in the 80s but became well-known in the 90s. Just as it sounds, this workout involves moving to music just like a horse might move or trot.
I just want you to do this for longer. I don't know what you're doing. A horse dance? What's a horse dance?
Horse. Yeah.
A trot?
Besides
a gallop?
What's another word for how a horse walks? Not gallop, something else.
Canter. Gallop. Skip.
One of Santa's reindeer.
Dancer. Prancer.
Rhymes with dance. Prancer. Prancer-size.
I've never heard of Prancer-size. Are you kidding
Oh no?
me?
Oh, okay.
Prancer-size? I've never heard of Prancer-size. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, I'm gonna find one for you. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. It was just like this, but you sort of like.
Oh, I can't see you right now. Okay. So. Oh no, that's not. I want to find like its like description, like you had it, or did you make them all up?
I saw some descriptions and then I just tinkled.
You tinkled. Okay, hold on. I gotta find this one's one I thought you would do. Okay. This is a Canadian-produced aerobics-based television program that ran from 1983 to 1984, in which a bevy of beautiful girls demonstrated exercises on a rotating platform.
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't remember what that show was called. But it was on. I remember CFMT used to put that on. What was it?
Give a guess. Give a guess. It was
20-minute
geared
workout?
toward.
No.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. That's. I didn't remember, but that's like deep in my head. 20-minute workout.
Yes. Good job.
Oh. Do you remember
one more for you. Hold on.
Okay.
What you're gonna say?
I was gonna say, do you remember the exercise show that was for kids on TBO?
Mm-mm.
And all they would do is body works. Did it.
No.
I'll send you the YouTube.
Thank you. Okay, here's one. A body fitness system that incorporates martial arts techniques such as kicks and punches became popular in the 1990s. It was developed by practitioner Billy Blanks. That's a good giveaway.
Yeah. Oh my god, it is a giveaway. Billy Blanks did. Oh, I forget what it's called. Give me a clue. Oh, did somebody help us here?
Somebody got it.
Thank you. Good timing.
So fun.
Time out.
Yay!
That was fun.
I think that's all that I have, though, off the top of my head, anyways. But that was a fun little game. I'm excited to see what you have for us next week. Oh,
Next
we can
week
stop
I might
this
need
music
you
now.
to get some stuff. I've got an idea for next week, but I'll let you know. You might have to do a little shopping.
Shopping. Okay. I'm here for it. Well, thank you, Phil, obviously, for being here, going through this episode. It's super fun talking the Amazing Race with you. I love the games that you bring to the table because I don't know how you think of them so quickly. You have a gift, I swear. Thank you, Selena, Ron, Sophie, and anybody else that's watching live right now or in the after replay. Please like this video. Please go and follow Phil on Adam and Phil Good Time Games. There should be a link in the description box below. And if you want to have a fun games night or weekend or something game oriented, please hit them up and not punch them. No. And yeah, and really hire them for a games night because it's super fun. You can see that he's able to come up with some fun games on the fly here, on the fly fishing. And you know, if he's actually making one for you, he's definitely going to be catered to you and your friends.
I'll put a lot more effort.
For a good time. So thank you for being here. Please like this video. If you are watching this after, please please continue to leave maybe game ideas. There's one that I'm going to bring in next week that I did see. Did you see it? Did you look at the comments last week, Phil?
No, I will now. Or should I not?
Don't now. Because like there was a couple of suggestions, so I'll probably do one of those suggestions. So please like leave any suggestions that you have for maybe some game ideas, so I can compete and try to stump Phil one of these days. But he's the game master, so he knows all games, and I'm just the guinea pig to get stumped. So if you want to help me stump Phil, like please leave a game in the description box and let us know who you think is going to be the winning team. Who do you think is doing the best so far? Who do you have the most faith in? Who would you put your money on right now if you were in Vegas and you're betting on these teams? Other than that, see you next week. Back at our regular time, most likely. Bye. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here.